Hello, and welcome back to All That Work for Nothing.
The podcast.
I am your host, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
Okay, no. With the way things are going tonight.
Should we do an episode where we talk about stuff that makes us mad? Should we feed into the anger?
Sure.
All right, we can feed.
My grandma was a psychotherapist, and she said the best way to get over being angry is to sit down, feel your anger as much as you possibly can, and for 2 minutes, give yourself 2 minutes to feel as angry as you can, and then by the end, you should be fine. You should feel better.
Dang, where was your grandma my whole life?
No, that doesn't really work for me.
Really?
Oh yeah, because sometimes it just makes me more angry thinking about all the things that I could have done, or that just it makes me think about it more in depth, and then it makes me more angry sometimes.
Well, the only correction I would put to that is to not give yourself a time limit and to just go as long as you possibly can, because being angry is exhausting.
It really is. It's a lot.
It is
I hate
so
being
exhausting.
I think the reason I get so angry is because it's embarrassing.
Yes, and then that makes you sad.
Yes.
At least for me. It goes angry to embarrassed to sad.
Yep.
And then it's just a cyclical pattern.
It's ridiculous, and I hate it.
And then the memories about me being embarrassed and sad and angry make me depressed. Isn't that fun?
Isn't that fun?
So great.
So great.
So great.
I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, so we're starting off this episode a little angry, well, on my end, because literally everything that could go wrong with this freaking podcast went wrong.
We had some technical issues.
Yeah, we were having every single technical issue, and I'm just like, come on, give me a freaking break.
Well, really just one specific technical issue that was very gnawing and very upsetting.
It was annoying.
But you should feel proud that you worked your way through that, baby.
I mean, I did, but at what cost?
That's what. Oh.
I guess it was a cost. I guess the cost was me getting to this point.
Yeah, but
finally fixing it and then starting the podcast. But I'm still I'm in a sour mood now.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I don't want a podcast.
It is an accomplishment though, doing what you did and not getting upset and working through it.
I've never felt this way before though, where I didn't want to do a podcast.
Aww.
Usually when we're starting, I'm really excited and I can't wait, and now I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Well, we don't have to do it tonight.
No, I want to do it. We have to get it done.
Well, once we...
I know that's not a good mentality to have. But
yeah, I was going to say, that's not the mentality we want.
No.
We want to do it.
But I don't... we've already come this far. I'm not going to give up now.
We've come this far. We can't give up now.
I'm not giving up.
Well, let's just talk about, look at where we are compared to a year ago.
True. Oh, yeah, that's right. So this podcast is going to be about reflecting on our year podcasting, because officially, I think February 12th, if I'm not mistaken.
It was February 12th. It was a month after your birthday.
Yes, February 12th was exactly 1 year of us starting podcasting. Not this specific podcast, because we started off with a different name. And
see episode 1.
See episode 1. Well, I restarted the episode numbers.
Okay.
So this is technically episode 9 of All That Work for Nothing.
Oh, that's what I meant. See episode 1 of All That Work for Nothing, where we address the name change.
Yes.
I mean, you can go all the way back to episode 1 of that One Couple podcast, but it's not gonna have
this.
It's
not on YouTube.
It's not gonna have this glamorous background.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't have anything. You can't watch it.
It's just sound.
It's just sound.
It's just a couple of people in love.
Which, it's funny to me that podcasting has now turned into a visual medium.
A YouTube thing, yeah.
It's not just an audio medium anymore. It's like people are like, we want to see you. And I'm like, just sitting there talking with microphones? Why?
Yeah. I always thought
Although I'm the same way. If I can't see a podcast, it's almost more distracting to me. I like to at least glance at them.
Yeah.
And then be like, I don't know why.
Your mind wanders, I think, otherwise.
Yeah, it's weird.
The one that I'm fine with not seeing them is the Dungeons and Dragons podcast we watched, because the background for that is their characters that they're playing. And so that makes it easier for me to visualize their characters in the world.
I do wish, I know this would be so much work on them, but it'd be really cool if they could get an animator that would animate the episodes.
Yes.
So that we could see their characters doing what they're describing, that would be so cool.
That would be so great. Yeah. I've wanted them to do that because we watched the Smosh Dungeons and Dragons. I thought if they could like have some like kind of like Tolkien, Lord of the Rings or Hobbit kind of animation, I think that would be amazing. But that's so much incredible work.
Yeah.
It really wasn't until I got older that I realized how much work animation is.
Oh, yeah, it's so much work.
It's crazy because I just watch cartoons as a kid and be like, yeah, this is great. Mm-hmm. No appreciation for how hard it was.
No, insane, especially in the beginning,
yeah.
When it was like incremental drawings.
And then they would work those animators to death.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever hear the story about how they all thought Lion King was going to suck?
Yes.
Yeah, and then they took him off of Pocahontas. And they put him in like a dungeon that was far away.
Yeah.
And then they like gave him no resources. And like
I've heard of it, but you should tell the audience.
Well, okay, so like Disney, a fine corporation who has only ever done good work.
Definitely not evil.
Definitely has no skeletons in their closet.
No. Or cryogenically frozen in their closet. No.
No.
Because of all the QAnoners that are like, he's alive.
Wait, they think Walt Disney's alive?
No, they think he's cryogenically frozen.
Well, I don't know if he is. I know Ted Williams had that happen to him.
Really?
Yeah, because his family or part of his family was all like, we believe in science and we think that they can have a disease for being almost 90 years old or however old he was. I think he was 90.
Wow.
Yeah. We can have a cure for being 90 and growing up in the 30s and 40s where basically you just walked through a wave of cigarette smoke and had a drink for every single meal of the day.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that you would even live that long back then.
Yeah.
That is a miracle.
It's crazy.
That's insane.
Like, I don't see what they see. Also, like, yeah, maybe they'll find a cure for the disease, but is there going to be a cure for being frozen?
Definitely not.
No. Speaking of Frozen, back to Disney.
Yes.
So in the 90s, this was during what they call the Disney Renaissance, when Disney was like cranking out hit after hit after hit. Mm-hmm. They all thought Pocahontas was going to be the big deal. And if you have seen the animation of Pocahontas, it is beautiful. But
it was my favorite as a kid.
Yeah,
when I was really little, before I knew the actual fucked up story of Pocahontas.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Pocahontas. Like, my mom said that she had to hide the VHS from me because I would watch it so often, and she got so tired of it.
It's funny that both our families did that for our favorite movie.
Oh, yeah. My mom was like, well, I guess it just went missing. And I was like,
Yeah, I found mine when I was a teenager. Mine was Hook, which is not nearly as popular as Pocahontas. And it's actually kind of an odd movie for like a 4 or 5-year-old to be obsessed with, but I was obsessed with it. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Hook?
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
It's pirates. Swashbuckling.
Peter Pan.
He's fighting a bad guy. Mm-hmm. You love anything like where anything is fighting a bad guy, you're in for it.
And then there's a crocodile at the very end, and I loved crocodiles.
I've never seen Hook. We need to watch that.
We should watch Hook. It's a good one. Yeah. Robin Williams is really great in the movie, and then Julia Roberts is Tinkerbell.
What?
Yeah, you can't tell.
How did I not know this?
Because she has like really short hair. This is like her only.
She always has really short hair.
No, but I mean like short hair, like to her.
Honey, Julia Roberts.
Who are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Julie Andrews.
Oh, Julie Andrews.
Have you seen The Sound of Music? Her hair is so short. My bad. Okay, Julia Roberts. Oh, I love Julia Roberts though.
I don't think Julia Roberts can sing like Julie Andrews.
Has
Julia Roberts ever sang in anything?
I don't think so. At least that I know of.
It's funny because it used to be a star back in the day.
To be a
star, to be big, you had to sing. Mm-hmm. And so somebody like Julie Andrews got a lot of her roles over other people because she could sing.
And she's so goddamn talented.
Talented.
She's not just a good singer though. It's like she commands the screen. When you watch a movie of hers, even when she's not singing, she's amazing.
It's true. Like you can't be Mary Poppins, which isn't like a big out there character. She just does kind of big, bold things. But anytime Mary Poppins is on screen, you watch her.
You're mesmerized.
Even though there's a guy who has a one-man band walking around, you don't watch him.
Yeah, well, she is gorgeous, though, to be fair. You're just like, drawn to her.
Yeah. Even though, like...
Sorry, go back to your story. Gosh,
I'm so sorry. That's okay. No, but I will say like this with like Julie Andrews. Like, it's like she was like... could be dressed up like a nun or dressed up like Mary Poppins. And you're right. There's just something about her that like comes through your screen. And then like, that's kind of what you needed back then. But in Disney in the 90s, which is funny because I think Disney owns every movie we've talked about so far.
Great. What don't they own?
Well, they're trying to buy more stuff from.
Of course they are.
Yeah, from Fox, I think.
Oh dear Lord. Okay.
Or no, they're trying to create a Fox, and them are trying to create like pretty much one big sports broadcasting company.
Yes, I heard about that.
Ugh.
Yep.
Creepy.
Yeah,
not
monopolizing.
Great.
They want to be Monopoly.
Yeah, they want to win the game. They want to win the game and not Monopoly.
Yeah. Sorry, get back to your original story. Right.
So back in the 90s, anybody who like was falling behind or was not like part of the basically anybody who was on Disney's shit list as an animator got put on the Lion King and taken off of Pocahontas, which everybody thought was going to be the big thing. Mm-hmm. So they got put on Lion King, which they thought was going to be like a shit movie. Who wants to watch a movie about a lion? Who wants to hear about like, you know, a tale from Africa when we have this movie from America that we're gonna package and sell?
Yeah.
So like anyway, so that's what they thought. They thought Lion King was gonna bomb, and so anybody who was on there was basically on Disney's like doghouse. And they were put in like a smaller studio away from the main studio and basically ostracized. And what resulted was, well, I think, one of the best Disney Renaissance movies, if not the best Disney Renaissance movie.
No, it's definitely, and it's still, when you watch it today,
it's
still just as good.
And something that stands out from it is the animation.
Yeah.
It's got insanely good animation.
It's really good.
Which, you know, just...
Pocahontas does too, though.
Pocahontas has really great animation as well.
I think that's why I liked it so much.
Because the animation makes total sense.
And I'm very like nature centered.
Yeah.
So the cool tones of the colors and like I remember being mesmerized by the grandmother willow.
Yeah,
willow
that
tree.
was really cool.
Oh my God. Just the colors in Pocahontas. So beautiful.
Something I noticed is the way Pocahontas did water.
Yes,
was
water.
So cool to me as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way they do that waterfall scene when he's like behind the waterfall. I don't know. Just to me as a kid, that was so incredible.
Good. Yeah.
And like it sucks because I don't really feel that sense of wonder at any movie nowadays.
Really?
I don't think so.
That's kind of true, actually. Yeah, I'm trying to think about. There's an anime that we watch that has like this amazing animation style that feels very similar.
Yeah.
Like similar vibes. Not like it doesn't look anywhere as similar.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you think so? Like it has different textures in it. It's a beautifully done animation.
Yeah, I think the only thing is that like once you get older, you feel like you've seen everything before.
I remember when I first started watching it, I was like, I've never seen anything like this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just getting cynical in my old age.
That's what that was the whole reason this anime show got so big.
Was because of the animation?
Mm-hmm. That's the first thing I ever heard where people were like, the animation, like even if you don't like it, the animation is goddamn beautiful, and I've never seen anything like it. It's just, I love it.
No, it is really great. And it's just, with that one, I think like it's got a great use of color.
Yeah.
Like
and it's different textures too, though.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great way to describe it, as texture.
Yeah.
Because like, when you see something on screen and it's tough to kind of like really feel texture in like a two-dimensional media like that, but this one really makes you feel the texture of it all.
Like, what I always think about is the main character has like a scar. Okay, I'm just gonna say the name. Why am I pretending?
I don't know why we're hiding the name.
It's Demon Slayer.
It's like Macbeth. It's like the Macbeth of anime. You can't say the name.
You can't say it.
You can't say the name.
Instead of the what do they call it? The Scottish play.
The Scottish play. Yeah.
It would be the Japanese anime.
The Japanese anime.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is like
what?
There's a whole bunch of Japanese anime. I think there's like only one Scottish play.
Well, there's a lot. Well, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it's Demon Slayer. So the I always think about like when I first started. Did you hear that?
Our cats are fighting.
When I first started watching it, I noticed that the main character, Tanjiro, he has a scar on his forehead. And when you see the scar, it has like, it's so intricate. Like it's you should just watch it. Even if you don't like anime, just at least give it a try. It's so good. It's everything in an anime that you could ever want, at least in my opinion.
No, it's great because it's like basically, I mean, I've only watched the 3rd and the 4th season with you, but it's like a couple episodes of backstory, and then it's just 8 to 9 episodes of a fight.
Yeah,
and it's
he
just
loves that.
yeah, and also like the way good storytelling a lot of times works is that you're supposed to kind of shorten the time. Because you're supposed to feel the time sort of speeding up.
Yeah.
Because it gives you a sense of anxiety, and it gives you sort of a sense of, what's that word I'm looking for? It gives you sort of a sense of, well, anyway, it gives you a sense of like whatever good anxiety is.
Can I help you? Oh, Shy. What's up, baby? Cutie patootie.
Our dogs are being so ridiculously cute right now.
Now Lily's
they both need it.
What do you have in your mouth? Shiloh.
Is that floss?
No, it's just a string.
Where did you get this? Who gave this to you? No. You tell me.
Yee. I think back to your point of there not being a new style of animation today. I agree with the movie aspect, although apparently Wish was supposed to be that.
Ugh.
Where it was supposed to be, well, okay, the storyline might be horrible, but the animation was supposed to be like something we'd never seen before.
From what I've seen, it's garbage.
No, from what I've seen too, but like the trailer, they really did that trailer up because the trailer looked amazing. I remember being like, oh, I have to see this. It looks so good. And then I remember it came out and I had no desire to see it.
Nope.
And I heard, like, literally the next day, people were just like, yeah, this movie sucks. And I was like, oh.
Well, somebody was doing a video on it, and they were juxtaposing the songs from that and Moana, and they just showed a scene, and then they're like, oh my gosh, speaking of which, the animation style. And it's true, because Moana is beautiful.
Moana is gorgeous
beautiful.
In every way.
And Wish looks drab. They're making a second one?
Yeah.
Because they can't come out with anything new.
Did you see that they are making 2 more Frozen? Not 1.
2 more Frozen.
2. Yeah.
So they're doing like a Twilight style?
Yes.
Where they're like the last story is going to be 2 parts?
I guess I have no idea. I don't know anything about it, but I'm also like, well, you guys are going to ruin it now.
I mean,
because that's Disney for you. They're just like, if it works, we're just going to put it in the machine and we're just going to keep grinding at it until it fucking snaps in half.
Beat the dead horse.
Yeah, beat the dead horse.
The dead horse.
That's exactly. That should be their slogan. Beat the dead Disney. Beat the dead horse.
Like, and just have the like Pegasus from Hercules just getting beaten. Oh
no, I love Pegasus.
Pegasus is. I just can't think of another horse from a Disney movie.
That's another good one.
Yeah, Hercules.
Hercules, yeah.
I loved Hercules when I was a
too.
kid because it was about a hero.
I like pretty much as a kid, I liked pretty much every single Disney movie that I saw.
I can't think of one that I watched from the 90s that I was like, I wasn't. Oh, Hunchback of Notre Dame scared me.
Oh, I remember it bored me.
It bored you?
Because it's more dialogue than anything.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's dark and it's like there's not really a happy ending, you know? It's kind of just like all this horrible shit happens and he's like, guess I got to live my life now. And you're just like, oh my God.
Well, it's funny because it's a lot happier ending from the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In the book, everybody dies except for the one dude. And then I guess, this is from what I've heard, I haven't read the book, but he has a chance to save Esmeralda or save the goat, and he saves the goat and runs out of a burning Notre Dame.
Yeah, because Esmeralda chose the other guy instead of him.
I guess, yeah.
He's like, the goat can't not choose me.
Oh, no, the Hunchback dies too.
Oh, shit.
The Hunchback dies, Esmeralda dies.
Wait, so who?
The one, the other dude. The blonde guy with the goatee.
The one that Esmeralda does choose?
Yes.
He doesn't choose her back?
He doesn't choose her.
He's like, nah, I'd rather have the goat.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Weird.
weird reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I've heard. And then it's very depressing, the book. And mostly the Hunchback one is based off of a 1930s movie. Oh, Same with Beauty and the Beast. That's mostly based off of a 1930s movie, a French movie.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense.
Makes sense. They're French.
Yeah, takes France. It takes place in France. Hello, yee.
Yeah, but
and Belle means beautiful in French. So
I mean, Disney's had such a hold over our lives.
Yeah.
It's just go back to making regular cartoons with simple stories.
Yeah.
Just do that.
And wasn't there a sneaking suspicion that Disney tried with Wish that it was AI? It was written by AI.
Okay, yeah, I saw a video on that too. That just based on everything that it was written by AI, just because of kind of a lack of humanity to it.
Yeah, there's not a storyline.
Yeah, because it seems like the way AI and machine learning works is that it kind of takes things from everything that's already.
I don't know what is going on with these dogs. Do you hear the noises she's making?
Yeah, she's making her teenage grunts, even though she's an old lady now.
Hello, yee.
Oh yeah, because it just kind of has a lack of humanity to it.
Yeah.
And also, it seems like it was written in a machine learning style, where it's it just kind of takes everything from every other Disney movie and kind of makes this weird world.
Yeah.
Where everyone's happy in the beginning, but it's she's not happy, but why is she not happy? It doesn't work the way something like Moana works.
Yeah, Moana was, oh my God. The first time I saw it, I wept.
Yeah, I cried too.
So freaking good. Same with Frozen.
See? Because those are human beings writing it.
Yeah, yeah. And especially Moana has so much heart.
Yeah.
It was blood, sweat, and tears. And you can tell.
Yeah. Because also there's a line that I was say, and it's don't put malice in the place of something when incompetence will do. So it could be that they were just really idiots and made a really bad movie. Because there's also one of the reasons why the music was so bad is because they just had a pop star come in, write one song, and then leave.
The hell?
Yeah, usually with someone like Lin-Manuel Miranda,
he wrote all of the music.
They're through the whole process too.
Yeah, same with The Lion King.
Yeah, and they get the whole story, and the whole story is kind of woven through with the music creators.
Yeah.
And this one they just basically had a hired gun come in and write one song, and it did not work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they might have just been cheap and incompetent.
Not to change the subject, but I remember, for some reason, I just randomly remembered that when I was a little kid, speaking of Disney owning us, so I remember I had these really cool Lion King sheets.
Ooh.
Bed sheets. And they were so, the colors were so cool and bold and amazing. And then I also had this Little Mermaid comforter that it was so freaking cool. So the Little Mermaid, she was on the front, on the outside, the upright.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
She was on the what do you mean, the upright of the comforter?
I can't think.
I can't think.
She
either.
was okay. So the Little Mermaid swimming with Flounder, and then I think the seagull was on there too.
Yeah.
And it was all the beautiful coloring, and she was it was really cool. But when you went underneath the covers,
yeah,
if the lights were on, it had this really cool thing where the underneath part would be all these different colors, but only when the lights were on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. And I remember as a kid just being so mesmerized by that. I wonder whatever happened to that comforter. I loved that thing. I had that until I was 10.
The same thing that happened to my cowboy sheets. They just got lost and distraught.
My stepdad still has the Lion King sheets from when I was 2-3 years old. Yeah.
Wow, that is that's a level of commitment that my family definitely
it's not
did
that he
have.
did it on purpose.
He just happens to have them.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a little chest of all your stuff saved.
Him? My mom maybe, but not
yeah.
him. Yeah. But yeah, I remember that comforter was so freaking cool, and I just remembered it right now. And I remember telling I would tell everyone about it. I was like, y'all, if I had a sleepover, I'd be like, you have to go under this comforter, under the light, and you'll see it's multicolored. It's really cool. It's like a rainbow under there. And everyone was like, what? And then go under there and be like, oh my God, it's so amazing. But if you would turn it over,
yeah,
it didn't look like that.
Yeah.
If you turned it over, even with the light shining on it, it didn't look multicolored. It was only when you would turn it over and go underneath it.
See, that's something that was made for kids. Somebody had a kid or had kids in mind when they were because if you're a kid, you go underneath your covers.
Yeah.
And, you read stuff and everything. And you kind of feel safe underneath there. And then just add a little cool added feature.
I used to play under my covers all the time.
Yeah, I did too.
With my Barbies, I'd be
yeah, I would try to make little forts. Mine was of course little
I would
action
also
figures.
try to make forts, but not. My brother used to have what are those things called? G.I. Joes.
I had G.I. Joes.
So I would always make the Barbie and G.I. Joe fight each other. You would think that I would make them lovey-dovey, but no, they would fight each other.
That's
and
so
Barbie
perfect.
would win every time.
That's so perfect.
That's right.
I had historic G.I. Joes because I'm that cool. I had a 101st Airborne G.I. Joe.
Cool.
I had a Civil War G.I. Joe, which were supposed to be collectibles or whatever, but I took them out and had them go in the mud and fight and everything like that. And then I had a 4th Infantry G.I. Joe that had his winter pack on because he was from the Battle of the Bulge, and he had a BAR with a bipod, and it was so freaking cool.
Nice.
I loved that one.
Did he have a nice bulge?
No, he was. They.
I'm joking because he's from the Battle of the Bulge. It's a joke.
Oh yes. Oh, that's so funny that you brought that up because I would try to bring that up as a kid and talk about how cool the Battle of the Bulge was, and I would do that in middle school, and kids thought it was hilarious.
I'm sure.
It's you guys are so immature. You guys are so immature. Stop. Be mature.
Oh,
I just want to talk about the Battle of the Bulge. It's funny because looking back now, it's hilarious. It was 100% hilarious, and I was just one of those kids that was like, "You guys are so mature."
God, just freaking grow up.
Yep, that was me.
That's funny. I feel like I was like that at sometimes, but I was a perverted little kid. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
I remember the first sex joke I heard. I was in 2nd grade. And I knew why it was funny in 2nd grade. Most 2nd graders would have been like, huh?
Yeah.
I knew every single part of that joke and why it was funny. And then I would tell all my friends.
You would pass the joke around?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Do you hear this joke? I was like an 8-year-old kid.
I did not have that kind of knowledge until I was much, much older. I think I didn't want to. I think I thought knowing it was bad and would make me bad.
Yeah.
And,
can I help you?
That was a baritone.
I think she wants to see what the cats are up to. You want to see what they're doing? Go. Okay. They've decided that they want to hang out with their sisters outside. So.
Sisters?
Sister.
Oh, that was another Disney one.
Yeah.
We just cannot escape the mouse.
Nope.
Mouse in the house.
Although I was through and through a Cartoon Network kid.
Yes. Well, when you were coming of age, that was the golden age of Cartoon Network.
Oh, so good.
I think mine was the golden age of Disney cartoons, Nickelodeon cartoons, and WB cartoons.
There was some good Nickelodeon, but
yeah.
we were talking about it the other day where I was like, growing up, I never really watched Disney cartoons.
Well, you said you didn't have the Disney Channel.
Yeah, not until I was older. And then when I was older, I watched Hannah Montana and not the cartoons and stuff like that.
See, I had the Aladdin cartoon, and I swear the Aladdin cartoon is what got me into liking The Simpsons because Hank Azaria played the genie. So that voice just drew me to The Simpsons.
Gotcha.
And I don't know what it was, but I think it was dark humor was my your version of sex humor. I liked dark humor from the time I was very young. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I just thought that people having sex was hilarious. I was like, isn't that gross? I thought it was gross.
Yeah, but gross in a funny way.
It was gross, in just
a comical
poop
way.
And pee and
all
that stuff. So I'd just be like, ooh, people are having sex. I think a lot of it though has to do with my grandma. Like I said in the beginning, she was a psychotherapist, and she told my parents, like, you need to tell your kids, you need to be honest with them what sex is, and you need to tell them as soon as they ask. And apparently when I was 4, I was like, where do babies come from? And my parents were like, all right, here we go. And they told me the whole thing. And I think since then I was like, ding.
My parents did not bring that subject up at all. They were very much afraid of it.
You grew up at a very different childhood than I did.
Yeah. It's just crazy that, like, you know, we both kind of found each other, even though, like, we were raised very differently, but we had very similar experiences.
Well, the thing is that, yeah, we've had similar experiences, but we also, like, fundamentally, we think the same.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yeah. It's awesome.
It's just, I don't, like, when I hear other couples that, like, have these arguments, and I'm like, that's a very fundamental disagreement.
Yeah.
That's a very fundamental thing that you guys, like, don't see eye to eye on.
Yeah.
That, like, would have, like, turned me off, because, like, you can disagree on small stuff all you want. You can disagree on things here or there. That's totally normal.
Yeah.
But there's, like, certain fundamental worldviews and fundamental perspectives that, like, you aren't going to just go away, and you can't just really, like, brush it aside.
Yep.
Like, you need to either talk about it and figure out a common ground, or, like, it's not going to work.
I know. Yeah. There's so many couples that talk about specific things, like you were saying, and it's like, how are y'all together?
I don't get how couples can be, like, politically different nowadays.
Well, there's a lot of people that just don't
talk about it.
Yeah, they tried not to talk about it, but they also, like, politics isn't as important to them.
Yeah.
As it is to us. Like, I would argue, though, that you know more and you care more about politics. I'm at the point where I'm just, like, done with everything.
Yeah, but
I still care.
Yeah.
But I'm also just like, I don't. At the same time, I'm like, whatever.
See, that's not what it See, like, that's bad. That's what they want to happen. They want us to be driven to apathy.
Listen, I'm not apathetic.
Yeah.
You hear me. Today I was complaining about.
Yeah.
Like, I was complaining about the shit going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
And how can you see innocent children and, like, ladies that are pregnant, haven't even been able to give birth, and, like, what really hit home for me was there's type 1 diabetic kids out there that are not able to get their insulin supplies, so they will die.
Yeah.
There's no surviving without insulin when you're a type 1 diabetic. And because of all the shit going on there and the embargoes and everything like that, these kids are going to fucking die. And, like, I care.
Yeah.
I'm not apathetic. I care, but, like, at a certain, like, it's one of those things where there's so much happening and there's so much bad.
Yeah.
That if I cared, I would just be angry all the time. So sometimes I just have to be like, well, what am I going to do? And like, I've gone to protests. I vote in every election that I can. Like, I'm not apathetic. I care, but it's just hard. It gets tiring.
Yeah. It's a lot easier not to care. It's so much easier not to care.
Yeah. And I sometimes, like, you and I talk about this all the time. We wish that we could be ignorant.
Yeah.
That we could just be, like, one of those people that just goes along in life and doesn't even think about things. But, like, today I was taking a shower this morning and I was like, wow, I'm so lucky that I get to take a shower and I feel safe in my house.
Yeah.
And I get to feel clean. And, like, these kids over in Gaza and, like, right now, they don't have that luxury. And it's not just kids, it's the people that are living there, the innocent people that have nothing to do with what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't have the luxury since October 7th. They have not had the luxury to wake up in the morning like they used to and go to breakfast with their family or go to school like normal. These kids haven't been even in school since October. And I, like, these things that I take for granted every single day, like, I'm trying more and more to be like, someone right now can't do what I'm doing right now, and I need to be grateful for that.
See, like, that's the level of empathy that, like, I needed to know my partner had. Because if you didn't have that, we wouldn't be together. But you have a level of empathy that, like, is like so hard to find, because just the fact that you think about that and don't brush it away and don't just like move on, but you really take it to heart. Like if more people thought like you, I don't think we'd have the problems that we had.
I don't know. Yeah. Even people that are truly evil, I'm like, deep down, you are a person, you know? I mean, maybe not like Hitler or, like truly heinous Stalin, certain political figures now. But like, I don't know. I just have this weird ability to be very empathetic to people. And I think a lot of it has to do with stuff that happened in my childhood and having a chronic illness.
Yeah.
Where people constantly told me that I couldn't do things or constantly underestimated me. And so I never want someone to feel that way. So that's my whole mission in life, is to help the downtrodden. And you know what I mean? Like, and it's not like I do it because I'm like, I have a heart of gold. I literally cannot not care about people.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm doing it to be a martyr. I'm not.
Yeah.
If I was being a martyr, it would come off as very fake.
Well, it's just like a lot of things we experience, you and me, because we feel emotions
so deeply.
Yeah.
And there's certain people in our lives that like to think that, that because we feel so deeply that we are soft, or it's just crazy to me. Like,
honestly, we were watching Demon Slayer, and I think a lot of the people who are causing a lot of the problems, they feel like the demons in Demon Slayer, where they get power off of human suffering.
No, it seems like it.
They get power off of their not caring about human life.
See, that's the thing. Like, if you're on the wrong side of history,
yes,
which if you're watching this, you're probably on the right side of history. Let's be real. Our podcast is not for a specific person. And I think, if you're watching this, like you are the people that we're trying to reach. I just don't understand how me being the way I am in my beliefs and allowing everyone to have a voice and caring about people, how is that soft? Caring about people is one of the most courageous things you can do.
Yeah, it's like
loving someone despite their flaws and accepting them as a human being is one of the most brave and courageous things you can do.
I just don't see how these people raise their kids. Do they really raise their kids to be like, no, don't share. Sharing's for the weak.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
Take that toy from Johnny. You're stronger than Johnny.
But then they get mad because, oh, look, no one can buy a house right now. Yeah, because these people that were taught that mentality that you're teaching your kids, they're taking and taking and taking for themselves, and they're not giving to anyone else because that's seen as weak. You are literally you're creating the monster and then getting mad at the other people that have literally nothing to do with that monster. We didn't even reflect on the year.
We didn't really reflect on the year. We talked a lot about Disney.
We talked about Disney and then Gaza.
Yeah.
I know that we're a very small podcast, but it's important to talk about what's going on in the world. And, you just think about the things that you have right now and be grateful for that, because not a lot of people have that right now. There's an entire part of the world that is suffering, and there is things you can do. Educate yourself, call your local senators, call your local politics people, whatever.
Representatives.
Thank you. Call your local representatives, demand a ceasefire, demand humanitarian efforts need to be utilized over there. Demand things. We vote them in, not the other way around. So utilize the tools you have. Make sure that you're finding reputable sources when you're doing your research. Don't use Wikipedia. Don't use anything besides a .org, .edu, So just be careful what you're reading, who you're talking to, and don't stop talking about it. because the worst thing you can do is stop talking about it, because that's what they want. Like he was saying, they want apathy. They want us to just forget about it because, well, we're far removed. There's nothing we can do. There is a lot we can do.
If you want to be lazy and get your research, what you can do is you go to Wikipedia, scroll down to the bottom where the references are, and look at the references that other people use.
Yes, but be careful because there's still a lot of crazy websites out there that they get their sources from. Use
your best judgment. Books are good. Read them.
Books are good. Not all books. Not all books are good.
Not all books are good.
You know, Mein Kampf.
Mein Kampf was not good.
Not a good book.
Oh, that was the other thing. I was watching this video on Henry Ford, and Henry Ford got a shout out in Mein Kampf.
Oh, dear Lord.
Because Henry Ford was an anti-Semite.
God. Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh, and Henry Ford, by the way, is the reason we have a 40-hour degrading work week.
Yes. And also, he did not invent the assembly line, nor really the combustion engine.
It sounds like a song we've sung in the past.
I know, right? I was watching this video and I'm like, I feel like we've said these things before.
I feel like these things have been done before.
So you're saying there's an anti-Semite out there who controls a media source and is taking all the credit for work he didn't do?
Yep.
And he's a car manufacturer. Oh my gosh.
Anyways, on that beautiful, happy note, we are going to go. We're going to cut it short this week.
Yeah.
Just because of the technical difficulties and...
My gosh, apparently there's a riot going on outside.
What are cats doing? Anyways, we're going to cut it short. Do your research. We're going to cut this short. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, comment. Let us know what else you want us to talk about. I know this week was kind of all over the place. But we've been asked by some people to talk about what's going on in the world, and instead of hiding from it, might as well talk about it, which you should too. Please do your research. I'll put some resources down in the link. So if you want to educate yourself, which I highly recommend, you can.
If you want me to talk about, I know a million things. If you want me to talk about the historical things of the fall of the Ottoman Empire, the Balfour Declaration, colonialism, Cold War,
I don't care
all that
if they
fun
do.
stuff.
I want to talk about it. That sounds awesome.
Oh, it's great. We're on the Instagram. You can find this podcast on the Spotify. Do you
have to say the Instagram like you're an old man?
We're on the Instagrams, all of them, and the Facebooks.
Okay, no, we're not on Facebook. We're on Instagram.
We're on
YouTube. We're on TikTok. Follow us on all the things so you can keep up to date on what we're doing. Please, if you think anyone else if you think that anyone else in your circle would appreciate what we're talking about and maybe want to be a listener, go ahead and send that to them.
Thank you all for listening. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know how you feel. Let us know if there's any Disney movies that impacted your life.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah. Let us know what Disney movies impacted your life. Also, maybe let us know what you are grateful for that you take for granted every day.
Yeah, that's a good one too, baby.
Do some reflecting. Anyways, we will see you next week. We love ya.
Goodbye.
Bye.